all of a sudden you get this growl at you and just rattles every bone in your body. Then you appreciate life.
So it's a pretty chilly, very overcast afternoon here in Landsborough. It's sprinkling down with rain at the moment. And David is leading me to the area where he first saw a Yowie. This was back in 2010, back when he was a complete skeptic, really, a complete Yowie skeptic. And now, fast forward to today, he's at the forefront of Yowie research and sightings on the Sunshine Coast.
My ex-partner and I decided to come for a bike ride up here to go to the train tunnel, the old train tunnel that we heard so much about. So I drove me four-wheel drive up here and set off along this trail, having no wiser thought of what was going to happen. And when you come to a forest and you find trees that have snapped 8 feet up, just clean snapped, and I know when a storm's been through this area, when it hasn't been, and you hear people say, oh, it was just a storm or something like that. That wasn't a storm. It doesn't do that. It makes you think, if they're there as well as we, then, what's the whole meaning of life behind it, It makes you wonder, where they come from. Like, I'm nervous now, but I'm here. I suppose if I actually got attacked or threatened by it, probably would have been a different story. I probably wouldn't be here now.
So you still feel a bit nervous?
Yeah, still nervous.
Has your breathing kind of increased? Is that my imagination?
Yeah, it has. This is where it started it all. So here we are at the fork in the road where I pulled up here, bought my bike's tyres to get to the map so I could still stay on my bike and point to the map to the person I was with, because they kept telling me we had to turn left, and I checked the map before we left and the map said we follow the railway line this way to the right. And as I brought my bike back, and I still to this day do not know what made me look, but I looked to the left and bang, I just saw it about halfway up the track there, halfway up the hill, and I sort of started stuttering, and that I had goosebumps all over me and hairs on the back of the neck was up, and just the way it walked and the way it moved, you could see the human in it, but then just all in hair. It wasn't clothes, it was hair. About a week afterwards, I got in contact with one of the Australian Yowie researchers worker. His name's Nigel. And I came down here one day and I found a few little bits of evidence, freshly snapped trees and stuff like that. And I contacted him straight away and told him, and he said, as silly as it sounds, can you urinate on the rocks for me? And I sort of was, yeah, why? He said, just don't ask questions, just do it for me. It was only me and my ex-partner down here at the time, so I did. And I decided to come up here the next morning, and these 1-ton rocks that Nigel asked me to urinate in had been picked up and thrown.
Not happy with your scent?
And I turned around and rang Nigel and I told him. He said, yep, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. They're not happy with your scent. This is what they do. They don't like it.
Oh,
so,
jeez.
Yeah, that was very, very interesting. Nobody, except apart from probably if you're going to get murdered, nobody has really can feel that fight and flight sensation as strong as you do when one of these guys are around. I mean, it's just that strong. I was brought up pretty hard way. If I ever, even mentioned about them to my parents, stop living in a fairy tale world, that's what they'll tell you. But what I saw, and no one can take that away.